to give me this opportunity to share my experience in this area, crop weather models areas. So thank you, sir. So I have given some topics. Shall I start, sir? So my okay, sir. Sir. So again, welcome. So today's topic is given to me is crop weather growth weather models. So in this we have to cover these topics. First is crop production principle and climate effect. Then introduction to crop weather modeling. Then empirical and statistical models. Process based crop growth models. Dynamic crop simulation models. Then this is the very important parts, the model calibration, validation and optimization, some advanced application and limitations, and one case study which I have done in my institute that I also cover in my lectures. So I will take first is the what is the crop production principles. So we all know that the crop production is governed by your biological principle as well as your environmental factors. And in environment factors, especially your climate factors. Climate factors mean different types of weather variables. So if you are understanding the different weather variables, how they are impacting your crops, so we can easily find which factor is influencing more or which factor is influencing less. So this productivity of the crop is depending on these climatic factors, different weather factors. And the basic principle of crop production is the function of your genetics functions, your environment function, as well as your management functions. So genetics is depends upon your crop, which crop you are raising. Among the crops, which varieties you are raising. So these are the genetics factors. Second is your environmental factors. So environment factor, under these environment factors comes different weather factors, weather variables, just like temperature, rainfall, humidity. These all factors are also influencing your yield. And then management factors. What types of management you are giving to your crops? So different types of management, just like fertilizer management, irrigation management. So these types of management also comes under this. So basically, your yield is depending upon your genetics factors, your environment factor, or you can say climate factors, or your management factors. So these are basic principle of crop production. Are your crop ecology principle, your law of minimums, law of optimums, principle of your resource use efficiency, and your critical growth stage concept. Under your crop ecology principle, your crop growth depends on your interaction between plants, soil, and climates. And you right crop for the right climates. Means we already decided different agroclimatic suitability or different agroclimatic regions are there. The based upon the different agroclimatic regions, different crops you can select for that regions. So these are the first principle. First you have to select depends upon your agroclimatic suitability of the crops, and because the crop growth depends upon your climate, plant as well as soil of that areas. So based upon soil climates, you are already classified your area in different agroclimatic zone. Then second law is law of minimums. Yield is limited by the most deficient factors. Means their yield is affected by different factors. Your nutrients are there, your climate factors are different, climatic factor, weather parameters, waters. So if suppose all factor are optimums and there is one factor is not optimums, so again your yield will be vary according to that. Suppose water is sufficient, your nutrient is sufficient, and optimum you are giving, but weather parameters are not optimums. So definitely your yield will vary. So this comes under your law of minimum. Then law of optimums. means each and every crops require their optimum levels. So if there is a optimum level of your weather parameters, whatever, light, temperatures, है ना, waters, and again there is a one threshold levels, optimum, minimum level, up to that your crop will survive, and maximum threshold level, up to that your crop will survive. Beyond that, again there will be some problems. So depending upon these, you have to give your crops a optimum range. If you want to get a good yield or good productions, so you have to give the optimum value of these parameters. Then principle of resource use efficiency. So how much resource, whatever resource you are using, water, nutrients, solar radiation, even land, so efficiently you have to use this for getting the high productions. Then critical growth stage. So each and every crop, they have a critical growth stage, and during that the crop is most sensitive, just like germination, flowering, and grain filling stage. So these, so again your crop growth and yield, they have depends upon your photosynthesis, your leaf area index, biomass, duration of crop growth, radiation interception, as well as your harvest index. So your yield is depending upon final yield, how you will calculate biomass multiplied by your harvest index. And these, if duration of crop growth is less, again what will happen? Your yield will reduce, and duration of crop growth, again this will affected by different climatic factors or different weather variables. So different, how these different weather variable will affect your crops. So this, each and every weather parameters have their optimum range. So if you have an optimum range, your growth will be faster. Temperature is optimum, your growth will be good. If temperature is high, what will happen? There will be a heat stress. If temperature is low, then there will be a frost injury. Similarly, rainfall. So rainfall is the basic source of your soil moisture supply. So if rainfall is not there, what will happen? There will be a drought. If high rainfall is there, then there will be waterlogging problems. Similarly, for radiation, humidity, as well as your wind also. So each and every weather parameter, how they are affecting your crop growth. So we first parameter is, weather parameter is your temperature. So how it is affecting your crops. So this will control your metabolic process. This control, temperature control your germination, growth rate, flowering, as well as maturity. This also influence your enzyme activity during different phenological stage, and also influence your crop duration. So also, what is the concept behind this? Each and every crop, they have required one base temperatures. If your temperature is less than this base temperature, definitely your crop will suffer. And again, growing degree days. So if each and every crops, when they are changing from one crop stage to another stage, you require that crop require a definite value of growing degree days. So if temperature is varying, growing degree days is also vary, because growing degree days is calculated from the temperature. It is equal to T maximum plus T minimum divided by 2 minus base temperature. Is means T average minus base temperature. And these both, base temperature is fixed for each and every crops, and T maximum as well as T minimum are changing, definitely your growing degree days will change. So if the growing degree days are changing, your crop will affect. And high temperature, because of this high temperature, heat stress will be there, and due to this there will be a pollen sterility, and this will reduce the grain fillings. Again, low temperature, this will delay the germination, and again your frost damage also causes losses in the crops. If this frost occur during flowering stage, during fruit formations, or grain filling stage, definitely your crop will suffer, or your production as well as yield will suffer. Then again, rainfall, this will also affect, because because I already told this is the primary source of waters, and this will determine your cropping pattern, sowing times also, because for germination, optimum moisture is required, and this moisture is also depending upon your rainfalls, and again which area we can use as a rain feed. If more rain are there, so there is a less irrigation is required. So sorry. So if there is a deficit rainfall, definitely will be a drought stress. If excess rainfall will be there, there will be a water logging, nutrient leaching will be there, and erratic rainfall will be there. Again, there will be yield instability will be there. So these there are some critical stage also, during which definitely water is, if these critical stage are at moisture stress conditions, your yield will be reduced. So during that period, rainfall, if it is rain fed area, there should be rainfalls, otherwise your yield will decrease. So this erratic monsoon will affect your sowing as well as yield instability. Similarly, humidity. This humidity also control your transpiration. This also influence your disease incident. This will high humidity will affect your fungal disease, and low humidity will increase your evapotranspiration. So this humidity also have a very significant role for the yield production or yield productivity. Effect of wind, this also affect your evapotranspiration. This will also help your pollination. Also, if a strong wind will be there, your crop will damage, mechanical damage will be there, lodging will be there, hot dry wind will be there, so desiccation will be there. And if moderate wind is there, this will improve your gas exchange. So wind also have a strong role. Similarly, solar radiation, because solar radiation is the source of power is photoactive radiation, and this is the source of your photosynthesis. If good radiation is there, your biomass production will be good, radiation use efficiency will be good. If radiation is low, suppose there is a cloudy weather condition, there will be a poor grain fillings, and this will reduce your yield. So again, adequate sunshine or bright sunshine hour is required during your grain filling stage. So next is, in this we have to cover your climatic variability and crop productions. So climatic variability, already there are some naturals due to which there is a monsoon variability is there, drought cycle will be there, flood, heat wave, these all comes. So one example is this, suppose El Nino event is there, this will affect your Indian monsoon, and this will reduce your rainfall, and definitely yield will reduce. So due to this, again climatic variability, your crop production will affect. And due to this induced climatic variability, because of greenhouse gas emission, land use change pattern, deforestation, because of this, again there is a increased temperature, erratic rainfall, again is extreme event are increasing. So there is a shifting in your crop growing zone, shifting in your crop sowing times, and again this will also affect your crop production. Just if during this grain filling stage, if temperature rise, the wheat productivity will definitely decline due to the terminal heat stress. So these are the climate change effect on the crops. So first is your duration will shorten due to the terminal heat stress. This will reduce your grain filling period. Again, increase pest and disease. There will be a water scarcity, and because of this, you will get the reduction in the yield. So what types of adaptation and mitigation strategy we have to do? So there are different strategy, agronomic measures are there. So we can change the sowing time, so that whatever your critical stage are there, during that periods, these just like wheat, terminal heat stress comes during the March months. So you have to select sowing times in that way, so that you can escape that period. That period, grain filling period, should not come before or after. You have to select the heat tolerant varieties, drought resistance cultivars, Also, you have to change the crop diversification. One crops, if it is affected, to just you have to select some other crops. If wheat is affected by this terminal heat stress, you select some other crops. Some other crop, millet also you can select. So these types of crop diversification you can do. Then water management, micro irrigations, just like drip irrigation, sprinkler irrigations. These you can use. Rainwater harvesting. Whenever, because extreme event are increasing, so this frequency is also increasing. So you have to harvest this rainwater. So whenever, suppose rain is not coming during the critical stage, that water you can use for the irrigation in the crop. Again, conservation agriculture. So different conservation practice you can apply for your crops to increase the crop productivity. Mulching also you can do. Then different climate smart agriculture. Just time to time weather based agromet advisory you have to give the farmers, because weather is very erratic, weather variability is increasing, day to day weather is changing. So for doing the day to day practices within the crops, you have to give the weather based agromet advisory, so that farmers can do their agriculture practice at optimum time. They have given their crops a optimum microenvironment, so that their crop productivity is improved, as well as quality is also improved. Precision agriculture, sensor based, suppose IoT based and sensor based agricultures you have to require nowadays, because climate change, climate variability is there. So you have to require these ones. So waste, how much nutrient is required, how much water is required for your particular crop as a particular times. So this much, and what is the weather conditions. So based upon these all, you have to do the precisely, you have to do these nutrient management as well as your water management in the crops. Soil carbon management is definitely required. ICT tools, because nowadays these ICT tools, different mobile app are theirs, different tools are theirs. With the help of that, immediately you can give the farmers the advisory as well as suggestions or management suggestion within the crops. So if these all you can do, the next is next topic in next we have to cover in this crop growth weather modelings. So crop growth weather modelings, I think in last class Dr. Swan is also covered some portions. So in crop weather modelings, we know that this is a quantitative representation of crop growth and development, because I already told our crop growth is influenced by your weather, your soil, and management conditions. So, if you are modeling these all using some mathematical equations, so what is the basic concept behind this? The crop growth is the function of your weather, your soil, your genetics. Genetics means your whatever which crop you are raising, what is the genetic characteristics of that crops. Excuse me, and what are the management practices. So these are all you, if you are simulating or you are incorporating in your models using some equations, so that is your crop models, crop growth models. So what is the purpose why we need the crop weather modelings? So first is to understand your crop climate interactions, so how your crop is interacting with the weather phenomena. If you know, you with the help of this, so you can do better management in your crops, so that your crop production is improved or your productivity is improved. Then quantify weather impact on yields. So how much impact of this of the weather, each and every factor, weather variables is impacting on the yields. So with the help of these crop weather models, you can quantify the weather impact on the yield. Again, you can do the crop yield predictions. Not only national level, you can do with the state level, at the district level, even at the block level also, you can do the crop yield predictions. Then it also help you to support your decision makings. So what types of decision you have to take in your crops, management practices you have to apply in your crops. And then risk assessment under different climate variabilities. So climate variability is here, climate is changing, so how much risk will be there, so that you can assess with the help of these crop weather models. So these are the some few application of your crop weather models. I already told climate change impact assessment, yield forecasting, even agromet advisory services also you can use, drought monitoring, climate resilient crop plannings, irrigation scheduling, how much waters you have to apply in your crop, what is the optimum times, what is the optimum value of these waters, and value as well as times. Sowing window optimizations, which sowing window is best for your crops. Fertilizer management, how much fertilizer at what times you have to apply so that your crop production will be more. Then pest and disease forecasting, this is also very much important, because pest and disease also depending upon your weather parameters. So you can, using the crop weather models, you can forecast or you can predict the occurrence as well as infestation, how much this pest and disease are affecting your crops. So this also you can do, and definitely in crop insurance assessment also you can use these crop weather models. So in these crop weather models, some basic models comes. First is your empirical models, and then statistical models. So sometimes we confuse कि both are same or both are different. They are very close, but slightly differs. So empirical and statistical crop weather models, they are widely used to quantify the relationship between your weather variables and crop yield or growth parameter using your observed historical data. So these models are data driven, and this will not simulate your physiological crop process. So they are not a process based. They are only using the data, whatever data you have, a past data, historical data. Based upon that, they will say, they will give some relationships. So these empirical and statistical crop weather model are related but not exactly the same. Empirical model are based on your observed relationship between weather and crop yield, while in statistical models you are using some mathematical as well as your statistical techniques to quantify these relationships, how they are relating. You are quantifying these. So these statistical models, crop weather models are empirical, but not all empirical models are statistical, because empirical models are giving just a relationship between your yield and the factor, weather factors on which this yield is depending. So you can say statistical model are more structured and quantitative form of your empirical models. So how you will develop the empirical crop weather models? So empirical crop model, they will be stable, they have some relationship. So suppose you have a weather data, different weather parameters you have, temperature, rainfall, humidity, sunshine, wind speed. So you will develop a simple correlations or rule-based relationship between your yield and these weather parameters. You are not required any advanced statistical techniques, and they are descriptive, not a, and location specific will be theirs. So how you will develop? You will develop them by some, first you have to collect the long terms crop yield data. Then that long terms weather data also you have to collect, long term yield data also you have to collect. Then you have to identify some crop growth stage, which are the critical crop growth stage are there, and then develop a simple relationship, either correlation or regression techniques, and some independent data set will be also there. Some data set you are using, generally 70-30 we have used, 70 for developing the model and 30 for the validation. So this independent data set set. Using that, you will validate the models. Example is simply GDD based yield estimations, temperature threshold models. You are simply developing a linear relationship between them. Just y is equal to a plus b x. X is your variables, whether it is rainfall, whether it is temperature, like that one relationship you are developing. So there are some limitations because these empirical models are very simple. They are not capturing your physiological process, so they are more sensitive to the extreme event. So their prediction will be not so much accurate if there are some extreme event are coming. So these physiological processes are also not captured. So next models comes your statistical models. So in statistical models, you are establishing a quantitative relationship between your variables and your crop yields using different techniques, statistical techniques. Your multiple linear regression, stepwise regressions, principal component regression, time series models, area model, different you are using. So in this, just like you will get some regression form you are developing, so this will comes in this form: y is equal to a plus B1T plus B2R, like this. What is A, B1, B2, B3, B4, B5? These are the all are the regression coefficient. A is your intercept and Y is your error terms. So again, for developing these statistical crop weather models, you require a long-term weather data as well as yield data. Then you can fit a models using some techniques, regression techniques, as well as some PCR techniques. Different techniques you can use, and then again validate the using your independent data set. So if your model is good enough, so using this, then you can generate a forecast. So application of this statistical crop model is pre-harvest yield of forecasting. You can do this as at district level as well as state level. The climate impact analysis and also agromet advisory service. You can use this statistical crop weather models. Next comes your process-based crop growth models. So process-based crop models, also called, these are mechanistic models. This will simulate your crop growth by representing the biophysical and physiological process, which these processes governing your crop development. They integrate your interaction among weather parameters, different weather parameters, plant process. Plant process is your photosynthesis, respiration, transpiration, different plant process will there. Biomass partitioning, soil factors is there. Again, management practices will be there. You know? So again, this will explain how and why this yield changes occurs. And these are also the application of this process-based crop models are in different yield gap analysis, irrigation scheduling, nutrient management, cropping system optimizations, policy decision support, risk assessment, and your climate change impact studies. So again, these data is required: weather, soil, crop management. These all are initial conditions. So these all data requirement is required for developing the crop models. This process-based crop models. So in this, again, there is a process-based model. There different modules are there. Weather modules are there, soil module is there, crop weather modules is there, management modules are there. So in weather module, different weather parameters is required. Soil module, so nutrient dynamics, soil temperature, soil water balance, soil moisture. These parameters are required. Crop growth modules, your leaf areas, photosynthesis, biomass accumulation, these are required. Management modules, again, sowing date, irrigation, fertilizer application, these all requires. So these again, these component, how temperature is controlling phenologies. So these are why we are using this, because in process based, how temperature is controlling phenology, how radiation is driving your photosynthesis, rainfall is determines your soil moisture. So again, soil parameter, why you are using, because if soil texture is there, soil parameter is there, So this will regulate your waters and nutrient supplies. So any so this process based growth model, this advantage of this is a big mechanistic understanding. This is can simulate your management scenario, also stress response simulation also you can do, and these are suitable for climate change study. Also, in process based crop growth models, we can integrate your weather, soil, plant, and management process using different physiological principles. And also, we can use the remote sensing inputs such as NDVI, leaf area index are also used, so that we can improve the whatever prediction we want to do, that we can improve. If we want to run this model for yield prediction, so by using the remote sensing input, okay. So how much? Hello, sir. So how much time is required for this lecture? 1 or 2 hours? Okay, okay. Then I will do slow. Okay. So I think these are basic now. That's why I'm going fast. Okay, okay, okay. Sure, sure. I'm sorry. I'm fast. So again, this process-based crop growth models, they are simulating your crop development by integrating your weathers, soil, plant, and management process. So they are also representing your photosynthesis, respiration, phenology, and biomass partitioning by doing the mathematically to predict growth and yields. And these models are very useful for climate change impact study as well as your management scenario analysis. But only limitation is that they require a large input data requirement. So you require all soil data you require weather data is required, management practices is required, crop, crop data is also required, and calibrations. Again, calibration is very much, I will later in my few slides, I will show how we have to do the calibrations. So this calibration is very much important. This required. And for this calibration, technical expertise is required. So this computational is intensive in the process-based models. While in statistical and empirical model, these all are easy. This computation is much easier than the process-based models. Then dynamic crop simulation models. In dynamic crop simulation models, these are a process-based models, but you are simulating, these are time dependent. So time also you are including here. And if you are not including times, it is simply a crop process-based crops models, crop weather models. If you are using a time also as a dependent variables, then this comes under a dynamic crop simulation models. So daily weather data you are using, daily data, whatever soil data, weather data, crop phenologies. So you are including this for the simulations. And they are again widely used for the yield forecasting. So these are more accurate than your simply process based or statistical or empirical model, because in this you are using a daily data also you are using. So because climate is weather is changing, day to day weather is changing, so your simulation will be more accurate. So again, they are widely used for yield forecasting, climate change impact assessment, resource management, irrigation scheduling, as well as your policy plannings. So these models require detail your daily weather data, your soil properties, your genetic coefficient, as well as your management inputs. And these will simulate your phenology, your bioproductions, biomass productions, your yields. They will use different decision support tools, and these you can use for your sustainable agriculture plannings, because and in between when you are raising your crops, so between time to time you will simulate your biomass production as well yields. So if based upon that, you can give decision to your crops. You will do the management in your crop to improve the crop productions. So different crop simulation, dynamic crop simulation models are research info crops, wheat grows, Oraja, Opost, aqua crops. Different models are there. Epsim are there, CropSys are there. So different models. So you can use depending upon reset also you can use if you want the yield forecast. Info crop is also you can use for the yield forecast. Opost is also used. So different models you can use for depending upon your requirements. So, what are the main steps, crop modeling steps? First, you define your goals, what you want to do. So, this is your goal. Suppose you want to do the irrigation seedlings, you want to do fertilizer management, you want to do yield predictions. So, your first is your goal. Then, define system and its boundary. So, for what purpose? Suppose you want to irrigation seedling. So, irrigation seedling, obviously, your crop will be there. So, that is your system and that is your boundary. 1 acre, 2 acre, like that. So, your crops. If you want to do the crop yield prediction, what is your area? Whether you want to do it for the district level, block level, like that, or for only your experimental plots. So you define this. Then define key variables in the systems. Which variables are theirs? And then prepare your flow chart. Then do evaluation and then do calibration, validation, and sensitivity analysis. So how to do this validation, calibration, sensitivity analysis? I will come next in my lectures. So what are the state variables? Because these are also required. And I told the state variables. So state variables are those which can be measured, which are directly you are measuring, just like your soil moisture content, your crop biomass, your crop yield. So which directly you can measure, that comes under your state variables. Then rate variables are the rate of different process, just like photosynthesis rate, transpiration rate. So the these comes under your rate variables. Then driving variables. These are the variables which are not part of the system, but they affect the system. Just like your weather variables. So these are affecting your system. Affecting means your crops are affected by these. So these are the driving variables. Rainfall, sunshine, temperature. These are comes under your driving variables. Then auxiliary variables. These are the intermediate product. Just like water stress. Means if you are not giving irrigation or rainfall is not there, so these are the water stress, definitely there will be there dry matter partitioning. So these all comes under intermediate product. These we call a auxiliary variables. Some are surrogate variables. They are calculated by the model itself and used to estimate value of another quantity. These are calculated by the model itself. Just like sometimes transpiration rate, they can calculate itself. है ना? Some models they are calculating themselves. So in whatever models we are using, whether your crop simulation models, dynamic or your process-based crop growth model, they require some input and some outputs. So output input I already told, these are the weather inputs, soil inputs, crop input and management input. So you have to record these all data. Maximum minimum temperature, rainfall, solar radiation, relative humidity, wind speed, then soil texture, field capacity, wilting point, soil depth. Under your crop input, variety parameters, sowing rate, plant population, then management input, fertilizer, irrigation scheduling. So if you are putting these all in your models, you will get the output. So what output you want? Phenology, different phenology you want, different biomasses you require, leaf area index, soil moisture status, evapotranspiration also you can quote, water productivity also you can get, and grain yield. So depending upon your requirements, you can get the output from the models. Or yield, if you want yield forecast, definitely you run this model for yield forecast. If you want phenology, leaf any phenology stage, how many days this phenology will comes. So using these input parameters, you can simulate this phenology, date of the phenology. Similarly, leaf area index also. So if you are running the experiment, so this crop models, any crop model, suppose info crop models you are using, DSET models you are using. So for that experiment field, experiment you have to run. Suppose for wheat crop you want to run. So wheat crops you are raising experiment data files. So soil data from that fields, weather data during the crop growing periods, and then your cultivate one. Also after harvest, crop data at harvest and crop data during the season. These all you are putting in your crop models. And then this model will simulate your output. For just like yield, biomass, leaf area, as well as different phenology, your model will simulate. So I'm giving one example. This is a crop growth and yield if you want. So in per crop models, different module will be there. Weather module will be there. Crop module will be there. Agronomic input management module will be there. Soil module will be there. And pest module will be also there. So different parameter you are in putting in these modules, you will get crop growth and yield using the info crop models. So next part of this is your model calibrations, validation and optimization. So this calibration is very much important. So if model is calibrated well, you definitely the model prediction will be good. So these all dynamic crop models, they must be properly calibrated and validated before being used for the predictions. Prediction for different study, yield prediction, climate impact study, or any management decisions. So what is model calibration? This calibration is the process of adjusting model parameters. These model parameters is your genetic coefficient, soil parameters, so that you can simulate your output will very near or match to your observed experimental data. So what is steps you will take? First, collect high quality field experimental data. You are running your experiment. Suppose for wheat, you are running the experiment for wheat. So you have to collect the different phenology date, biomass, leaf area index, and your yields for first year. First year you are running the experiment for wheat. So, so these, excuse me, these all parameter you have to collect. Then select the sensitive parameter, genetic coefficient, because each variety they have a different genetic coefficient. Which variety you are raising? So for that, then radiation use efficiency and harvest index. Then adjust parameter iteratively, and first you put the data parameters, these all the phenology date, biomass, leaf area index in your models, and you will get some output. You just match whether you are simulated and observed in the experiment, observed experiment, whatever you observe in your experiment, they are matching or not. If there is a difference is large, again you have to adjust. The number of times you have to adjust. Sometimes it comes only one or two times adjustment, but sometimes you have to adjust it many times until or unless it is matching to your observed value. So adjust the parameter iteratively and then compare your simulated versus your observed value and minimize your error statistics. So if error is very less or minimum, you can say your model is calibrated well. So these are the different statistical indicators to assess your models, whether your model is calibrated well or not. So these are the different statistical indicator. First one is your root mean square error, normalized root mean square error, D index, coefficient of determination, NSE, RPD, ratio of performance to deviation, percentage deviation, mean wise error, mean standard error, mean absolute percentage error, ratio of performance to interquartile distance, RPIQ. So there are different formulas. So how you will calculate R square? These are your values, say observe, mean, है ना? These will be your simulated and your observed. Difference between predicted and mean. Whatever you are predicted or simulated value, and this is the mean of this one. So, and this is the your observed value and mean of the observed value. So R square, you just put this formula in your Excel sheet. So you will get automatically R square value for your simulated versus your observed values. D index also you will put these formulas in your Excel sheet. You will get these all value, R square value, D index, NSE, RMSC, NRMSC, percentage deviation, as well as RPD value. So these formula you have to put in your Excel sheet, or you can calculate. There are different software are there. SPSS also you can use, even in R software also you can use. So using these, you just put this, you will get the formula. Otherwise, with the help of simple calculator, it is very difficult to calculate these values. So either Excel or in SPSS or in R software, you can, or even some coding you can do if some person know the coding. So in Python, they can also use this formula. With the help of coding, they can calculate the value of these different statistical indicators. So these indicators values, then after this, these indicator values is required for assessing your model during calibration as well as during validations. So calibration you are doing with the observed data. Whatever build experiment you are doing, based upon that you are calibrating your models using these all statistical criteria. So NRMSE is considered excellent when its value is less than 10%. Good if it is range between 10 to 20%. And if more than 30 means your model is not good. You have to, if you are calibrating your model, again you have to change the parameter, sensitive parameter, and you have to again calibrate your the models. Similarly, RPD value is less than 1, it is very poor models. If it is more than 2.5, comes 2.5, you can say your model is calibrated excellently. Similarly, other parameters also, R square closer to 1, high value, NSC, RP, IQ, T index, they are coming near to 1. It means your model is very good. And small percentage deviation, small MAPE, that is coming lower side, so your model is good. Similarly, low MSC, RMSC, these are the standard value for the different statistical indicator. Same indicator again you will use for the model validation. Only difference is that calibration you are doing using your experimental data. You are matching your simulated value with your observed value from the field data. In validation, what you are doing, you are not once you calibrate your models, now you are not changing the parameter of your models. So you are simulating for the next year data. You are again running your field experiment for next year, second years. So you will get different value, different phenology, leaf area index, biomass, yield. But now with the help of your calibrated models, you are predicting your models. Leaf area index also you are predicting, different phenology you are predicting, yield also you are predicting. And then with whatever value comes from your models, you are just using these different statistical indicators, you are validating your models. And what are the observed value from the second year data? So one is your model output and one is your second year experimental data. Again, using these all statistical indicators, you are again assessing your models. Okay, whether your model is giving good value or not. If this statistical indicator value comes performing well, or your accuracy of the model is excellent, you can say our model is performing well. So these are the flow diagrams for model simulation process. First is first experiment data, different weather, soil, crop management data you have to collect. Then data pre-processing, quality check of the data, whether data is missing or not. You know, unit also you have to check. Then initial parameters are genetic coefficient, soil parameter, these are. Then model calibration is, which is very much important part of your models. Calibrations. So adjust parameter to minimize your errors using different statistical evaluation criteria. If you are performing poor, then again you have to calibrate. Adjust parameter to minimize error. Again, you have to calibrate using this statistical evaluation. Once your model is calibrated well, then using the again independent data set for the different years, you have to validate your models. And if your performance and assessment, then you have to do the uncertainty or robustness of the model. And again, after that, this model is good enough for your conditions, you can do predictions from next year onward. Not necessary you have to run again and again experiment. Once you have calibrated your models well, validated well, third year onwards you can do the prediction from your models. So again, sensitivity analysis. This is also required for the models. Identify which model parameter most influence the output. So one at a time, parameter variation, global sensitivity analysis, these models, again suppose your models is you are running for your own locations. So whether these models can run for the other location also. So for that you require a sensitivity analysis. So you can change one parameter. Suppose temperature is more sensitive, rainfall is more sensitive. So you can change. So how much sensitivity is theirs. For this parameter, you are using this Monte Carlo simulations. So this sensitivity analysis you can do. So this purpose why sensitivity analysis is required. Identify critical parameters, which parameter is more sensitive. Then improve your calibration efficiency. Model will be more useful for other area also, other location also, and this will reduce your uncertainty, and also you can prioritize data collection for other area also. And then the source of uncertainty in the models is also comes because of the weather data errors. Sometimes weather data you are wrongly putting your weather data, and weather data measurement error are also there. Soil data variabilities, because soil data from one point to another point, one field to another field, one location to other location, there is a soil data variability is also there. So if genetic coefficient also in estimation you are not estimating properly, then your model structure limitation. Sometimes your model, different model you are using, so they have different limitations also. Now these are the your source of uncertainty for the models. Measurement errors, just like input uncertainty is there. Measurement errors, different parameters you are not measuring well, missing or incomplete data. Sometimes some data is not available or data is not complete. Then soil variability is there. Parameter uncertainty, limited experimental data is there. Calibration error, you are not doing calibration of the model properly. Regional difference, one region to another, definitely there will be a difference will be there. Genetic variability in the crop variety, one variety to another variety again, there is a genetic variability will be there. And some structural uncertainty, the missing biological process, some you are ignoring some page disease interaction, assuming linear relationship when really there is a non-linear relationship are there. So because of these ignorance, our ignorance, this uncertainty comes in the models. So again, a model is robust if it performs consistently across different environment, different seasons, different management conditions. So for making robustness, we have to take care of this uncertainty also, and we have to take the sensitivity analysis. If you want to run your models for the entire other regions also or other area also. Then again, optimization of the management scenario. So these dynamic models allow your simulation of multiple scenario to optimize management strategies. Optimal sowing rate, which sowing rate will be optimum so that you will get the optimum yields. Irrigation settling, nitrogen application rates, how much nitrogens. Sometimes some recommended practices there's okay, this amount of NPK is required for these crops. So whether these are okay or not, depending upon your situation, present scenario, whether these already recommended doses are okay or not. So that also you can change using these models. Plant population density, some recommended is also there, but since due to this changing climate scenario, present current situations, your plant population density you can increase or decrease, or you can optimize this one. Variety selections, which crop is suitable for your area, which variety is more suitable for these crops or your area. So using these models, you can do this optimization so that you can get the optimum yield or optimum productivities. So optimizing procedure, what is your first defined objective function? Maximize yield or profit. What is your main goal is you have to optimize your or maximize your yield. Then run multiple simulations. One you have to run, okay, this is maximized. Second times, no, it is not maximized, like that. Then compare your output and then select best performing scenario. Which one is best? That you can select. Based upon that, you can optimize your sowing rate, your irrigation settling, your nitrogen application rate, your variety selection, your plant population density. So this I have already discussed. Model calibration, this involves adjusting model parameter so that simulated output match observed field data. Validation test the calibrated model using independent data set to assess predictive accuracy. Sensitivity analysis identify key parameter influencing model output, while uncertainty analysis evaluate error arising from input and model structure. Optimization use the model to simulate alternative management scenario such as sowing rate and irrigation settling to maximize yield or profit. And proper calibration and validation are essential for reliable crop simulation and decision supports. So for any model, first is calibration and validations. So these are the four. Agar calibration and validation are perfect, your prediction will be perfect. So you have to take care of these two. So then forecasting of pest and disease. Different weather driven pest models are there because pest development depends upon temperature, humidity, leaf wetness duration, rainfalls. So different models you can, using these weather parameters, you can develop the pest disease forecasting models or forewarning models. So degree day models for insect life cycle prediction, blight forecasting model using humidity and temperatures. Then disease prediction models are there, rice blast forecasting is there, lead blight models is there for temperature and humidity threshold, rust model in wheat are there. So these models help in timely pesticide applications, reducing unnecessary spray, and for IPM, integrated pest management. So using these weather pest driven pest disease models, you can give the forewarning to the farmers in advance so that you can timely do the pesticide application or do the management in your crops so that you can reduce the pesticide or insecticide spray. So this is, I am giving one example. This is the forecasting model for the Kannada. There are number of models are developed using the these different weather variables. So canal burn diseases, suppose incidents occurs. So different maximum temperature, minimum temperature, humidity, rainfall, rainy days. So based upon this, this model is already developed. So if you know the value of x1, what is x1? T maximum for length week of the length week means from the date of sowing of the crops. X2 is the 11th week after date of sowings. X3 minimum temperature, X2 is minimum temperature, X3 is RH, relative humidity, X4 is your rainfalls, and X5 is your rainy days. So if you know these value, obviously you know these value, you can put these value in these equations, you will get the prediction. What is the value of Y? Excuse me. So if Y value comes high, you can say based upon that you can give the forwarding to the farmers, or you can do the management in your the crop. If Y is coming lower side, so not necessary to do any spray. Only simple management you can do in the crops so that it cannot spread in the whole crops. Again, there are the different skills of crop modeling. Temporary skill are there, special skill is there. So temporary and daily also you can do, seasonal also you can do, and also long terms you can do. Special skill, field level also you can do, district level, regional level, as well as national level you can do. And by integrating remote sensing, you can improve the spatial scalings, spatial as well as your. So what? How this remote sensing input you can use? Remote sensing, we already you have a NDVI value, a leaf area value, leaf area index value, surface temperature is there, soil moisture is there. So for crop area also you can get from remote sensing. So these you input you can use in your model calibration if you are using for the large areas. So how you can integrate your field scale data to the large scale regional levels or your national level data. So already field experiment you have done. So using field experiment you have calibrated your models. And again this remote sensing data you can put as a input during the calibrations. And if you this calibration is done accurately, these models you can use for the forecast or for the prediction at the largest areas for regional scale or for national levels or for district levels. And after calibrating, you can use this for the real-time crop monitoring and yield forecasting at the regional scale. So already this reference data, the satellite data source we available. So freely you can download the data from there, Modi's, Sentinel, Landscape. Excuse me. So from these different, these data, NDVI, leaf area index, surface temperatures, soil moistures. So from this satellite data source, you can get this data. And by using this data, you can give the yield forecast as well as other prediction at regional levels. So this we already discussed different crop weather modelings. So what is the importance of this? We know that crop weather modeling play a vital role in modern agriculture by integrating this weather, soil, and crop management information. So it will help the farmers, scientists, and policy maker. They make informed and timely decision under variable climate condition, ensure reliability of prediction, improve decision making accuracy, reduce risk in policy planning, and they will enhance confidence in your climate projections. So, advantages, already you can optimize your nitrogen fertilization and other input, waters or nitrogens, predict crop growth, yield at different stages. Also, you can do at drilling, at vegetative stage, flowering stage, grain filling stage. You can evaluate weather is and climate variability impacts. So you can use this for support agronomic decision making, planting date, cultivar selection, estimate yield probability for specific soil and rainfall conditions. So if this is the soil condition, this is the rainfall. So what will be the your yield probability for these conditions? Assist in regional agriculture planning and development. Also support genetic improvement and cultivar stability assessment. So how to improve the genetic improvement? So for breeding purpose also you can use this crop weather models or this crop simulation models. You can improve with the help of this. You can improve your varieties. So these are, I already discussed, these are the application on farm decision making, research applications, policy and climate change analysis. So different area application in agriculture meteorology in the different area decision making you can use to help the farmers determine optimum planting date, select suitable cultivar, assess weather related risks, make informed investment decisions. They also predict crop performance in due regions or under suboptimal condition. So if it is suitable, you can expand this crop for other area also. So research applications, if you want to do research, so in agrometeorology research crop model help to test your scientific hypothesis, identify your research gap, organize and integrate data across discipline one to another's, evaluate your genetics trait for specific environments. So across long-term cultivar stability under varying weather conditions. So these are the research applications. Then policy and climate change analysis. This crop simulation model, these will support policy management at field as well as global scales. Assessing the impact of climate change on crop productions, then evaluating the effect of elevated carbon dioxide level, studying temperature and rainfall changes on crop growth and yield, and assisting breeders in anticipating future crop requirements. So these, with the help of this, also what future crops requirement based upon your anticipating climate change. So that also you can do. Role in advisory services also, weather-based irrigation, fertilizer. These all you can do. But there is a some limitations. So main limitation is I already discussed with you that require accurate and high quality input data and parameter calibration is needed. These are very much required. Calibration and validations. So sometimes some time consuming is also there. May not capture extreme weather event perfectly. And then simplification may not represent all field complexity. Some field experiment you are doing for your own area. So if you are again giving for the large area, so one field to other field there is a large complexity is there. So again, skill requirement for operation is also there. So these crop weather modeling, these quantify crop climate interaction, empirical and process-based model widely used, and input include your weather, soil, crop, and management. Then this is crucial for your advisory service as well as for policy planning, and this is essential tool under climate change. And what research you all require? AI integrated crop model is there, machine learning, plus your mechanistic hybrid models is there, real time forecasting we can do, integration of satellite data, and you can put this in a digital agriculture platform so that real time forecasting you can do. So, if time permits, can we discuss one case study also, which we have done in our. Yeah, yeah. So, in short, I will do. So, this case study is done by my student, PhD student. Recently, this year, he got the PhD degree. So, in short, I will discuss this one. So, he have done the multi-stage field prediction using artificial intelligence and crop simulation models. So, what he have done, so this we already know crop yield prediction. The why this is required for farmers for decision support, risk management, and this is accurate in seasons also. Food security purpose for policymaker, food security and economic stability, better stock management, price stabilization, grain procurement planning, import export decision also required. So there are some challenges in traditional predictions. So manual survey, what crop cutting experiment we are doing for yield predictions. The manual survey and historical average, then low accuracy in variable condition, time consuming is also there. So what we are doing, harnessing this machine learning for agriculture. So there are advanced algorithm is there. So these are they are giving modeling complex relationship are there, precise prediction is there. We can adapt to changing conditions also. So this machine learning, this will enhance the decision making for the farmers. So these are some research gaps. End of seasons, wheat prediction we are giving. Then very few or nil multi-stage in-season wheat prediction are there. Then no combo models. So in this model, what we have done, and we have done this different experiment. First, we have used the simulation models, crop simulation models, crop weather simulation model to predict wheat yield at multiple growth stage using simulation model. In next study, we have done using the AI techniques for wheat yield prediction at multiple crop growth stage. And in third, we use the combination models using different combination techniques. Whatever output is coming from the AI techniques using different machine learning techniques, AI techniques that we are using in a combination models, and then we are giving the predictions. So crop simulation models, we use the DSET models to predict a wheat yield using crop at multiple growth stage using simulation models. The field experiment was run at our own IRA experiment farms, IRA. These are our experimental farms. So different major treatment was date of sowing, timely sown, late sown, and very late sows. So three varieties was selected: ST3086, ST2967, and PPW723. So these are sub treatments and three date of sowings. So total 9 treatment was there, and three replications for each and every treatment. So total 27 plot was theirs. Then during the crop growing period, first years, we have collected these all parameters. Weather parameters also, because near to this the agromet observatory was there. So for that agromet observatory, during the crop growing periods, different weather parameters were collected. Soil properties was also, soil parameters was also calculated. Bulk density, soil texture, soil moisture, management factors, how much fertilizer is applied, irrigation, varietal factor, these all was collected. And then these all were put in the models during the calibration. So these estimate the model parameters and then run model several times. And we these simulated result, and we have an actual experiment output. We verify the results, and this calibration is done until we get the good matching. Means your simulated results should be matched with the your experimental output. So for this genotypes coefficient, different genotypes coefficient was measure P1B, these all P1D, these all are calculated. These are calculated based upon the temperatures during your crop growing periods. Then actual as well as simulated. First date of sowing, how much percentage deviation. Then second date of sowing. Then for third date of sowings. This validation was done for the second year data. 2021, we have first year data, we have calibrated, and for second year data, we have validated. Then once this is validated for our experiment, then same models, because our model is giving a good value. So this model is run for the Punjab region, because Punjab is again a major wheat growing regions. So for different districts of Punjab, this model is run for giving prediction for 2 years, 2022 and 23. So this, because for our areas, we have collected the weather data as well as soil data. But for Punjab regions, already data is available, freely available from strict soil graded data we have taken, and IMD graded data as well as satellite data also available. So weather data you can see. So different districts of Punjab, these already data is available. So we have put this in the calibrated and validated models and then give the prediction for different districts of Punjab. Again, multi-stage, because this multi-stage is also required for doing the management practices in the crops. So multi-stage also I have done at flowering stage as well as at grain filling stage. So you can see percentage is less than 10%. So your model is giving a very good results. Then the simulated yield of all three wheat varieties during validation of the model showed good agreement with the observed value on percentage deviation, indicating high model accuracy. And availability of actual field data from various locations can enhance, because I have taken the data available on the websites. So if actual maybe whatever data is available on the website, the how much accurate it is. So model accuracy is also depending upon the accuracy of the data what you are putting in the models. So more accurate data is available, so you will get the more good prediction of the yield. Then in second objective, what we have done, evaluate AI techniques for wheat yield prediction at multiple growth stage. So for this, again, study area is different districts of the Punjabs. So all 12 districts using NASA power data source, and again 12 district data. So we have compared NASA power data set is also there and IMD data set is also there. So what for these 12 districts we have done, run the models, different machine learning models using only IMD data, then putting only NASA power data and using the combined data. The three data set. Then again comparing whether this data set we are improving the accuracy of your prediction or not. So these are the different data sets. So data set from IMD, solar radiation, maximum temperature, minimum temperature and rainfall. And data from NASA power is clear sky, surface, hot wave. These are freely available for each and every locations. Downward irradiation, clear sky, surface power total, temperature at 2 meter, wheat bulb temperatures, all sky, surface, long wave, downward irradiation, relative humidities, precipitation, surface soil wetness, root zone, soil wetness profile. And set 3 is combination. All two data set we have combined. And these 5 machine learning model, one is your SMLR. This is used as a reference model. And these 4 are your machine learning models, support vector machine model, random forest, artificial neural network, and deep neural networks. These are the flowchart. Yield and weather data was collected from the various sources. Then simple and weighted weather indices were developed. Then pre-processing of data was done. Then data set was split into training and testing data set. Then different models was run, and using this yield prediction was done at flowering, tailoring, flowering, and grain filling stage. And then model validation was used using different performance metrics, different statistical model criteria. Different district, total 22 districts we have done. I am showing only one districts. So these are tailoring stage. So how much R square value, flowering stage, grain filling stage. So this is the calibration observed versus predicted yield at different growth stage using NASA power data set for Amritsar district of the Punjabs. And this is during the validations. Similarly, others parameters. This is during calibration as well as during validations was done. So you can see validation for all 22 districts of Punjabs. So using these machine learning models, these are SBR and DNN, they are performing better, having the value, these statistical indicator, having they have a value less than 10% or other R square value closer to 1. So they are performing excellent. So these are the flowering stage again. So the different NRMC values again coming less than 10%. RMSC value is also having low values for these models, DNN, RF, SBR models. So this is again during the grain filling stage. So percentage deviations for all 22 districts we have. Percentage deviation or whatever simulated value and observed values. So what is the difference between that? So you can see that these SBR, RF and DNN is running far better than your ANN. So they have a less than 5% percentage deviations. So these are the accuracy assessment of wheat yield prediction using your various data sources. So that tailoring stage, these NRMC values, percentage deviation, as well as mean absolute percentage here, they are having a better value for SBR, RF, and DNN. So these machine learning models, you can say these are performing better. So these models can be multiplied. These can be applied for the other area also. So these are deliver the highest predictive accuracy across all district and phenological states. Improvement in model accuracy is noticed across delivering to grain filling stage. And this NASA power weather data resulted improvement in model accuracy. When you are combining weather data set, again your accuracy is improving. Then in third objective, we have again used different techniques to combine the prediction done by the different machine learning models at different multi-stage. So what we have done, these are the different models we have used. The yield output obtained from these models is used as an input for these different forecast combination model, COM-BG, UNG3. These are the different models, combination models used. So yield output obtained from these models is used as an input for these combination models. And then these are the final forecast is given. And based, yes, sir. Ensemble models. So in third object, I'm going faster because there is one lecture is required, and this is whatever mechanism is there, no? Different formula and different thing is there. Yeah, but at least they will get some idea. So this ensemble also we can do for improving the accuracy. So how we can step by step we can improve the accuracy of the models. So using again these different statistical indicators, how the model accuracy is improving when we are doing the ensemble or combination tech models we are using. So these are again different stage flowering as well as tillering. Again, out of these six models, combination model, these simple average and mediation models are giving the better performance as compared to others combinations. So different techniques we are applying. We are applying. Some are eigenvalue, eigenvectors. Some are simple average like that. So these again simple average. So for accuracy assessment, again tailoring, flowering and grain filling stage, this simple average combination model is giving the better result as compared to the others. So this we can apply simple average combination model. This demonstrated the highest phenological stability and overall robustness, low validation error, best accuracy, minimal bias across all districts and all stages. So among the crop growth stage, yield prediction error was the highest at tillering, improved substantially at flowering, and further increased during the grain filling stage because of the more number of data is increased. Number more data we are incorporating. In tillering up to tillering stage we are incorporating. In flowering up to flowering stage data we are incorporating. At grain filling up to grain filling data we are incorporating. That's why accuracy of the model is improving. So again, we can test the model in other region and as well as other agroclimatic zone to check their wider applicability, explore advanced data integration method using weather satellite product for better model performance. And again, we can integration of AI with soil data because in this only we are using the weather data. In my work, we use only the weather data. So we can integrate the soil data also, pest data also, other data also, and we can use web and mobile applications for real-time crop yield prediction also. Okay, model already develops, so web and mobile application we can put and directly linked satellite data is available. So they directly link the satellite data to this web and mobile applications whatever you have developed. So real times crop yield prediction you can get. And these developed models you can use for the farmer advisory or policy level support decision platforms. Thank you, sir. Thank you. Yeah, thank you, sir. So first is I'm always to help you. So first condition is that yeah, participant. Yes, yeah, definitely, sir. Participant, whatever query you require, because to cover the crop simulation model as well as machine learning models within 1.5 hours, it is very difficult, sir. So it is require a lot here, definitely, to understand these ones. So definitely for process-based and crop simulation models, your accurate data is required. For that, you have to run the field experiment. And sometimes field experiment to run a field experiment, it is a tough job because fund requirement like is that. For machine learning approach, data is available. Just like for us, IMD data is available, satellite data is available. I think satellite data is available for all countries. Whatever data I have shown you, so this data is available on the NASA power sites. So that data is available. So if field experiment is difficult to run for your country or for your area, so you can use this machine learning approach. So these machine learning approach you require long data sets. So if it is already available in NASA power sites, then simply you have to do the some coding in R software or Pythons, so that you have to learn. So how to do the codings? Python, if you feel easy, Python you can run. R software is also available freely. That also you can download from the freely availabilities. So that you can, if you want to do, you can do this one machine learning approach. Again, these set models and these crop simulation models are also available freely. You have not to go for purchase. So that also DZ muscle also you can use for the crop simulation purpose. And regarding this, if you want to come in our IRA, because our IRA is deemed universities, we are running MSc programs as well as PhD programs here. So each and every year, you can come. Foreign students are also registered here, and full times also they are doing the PhD within 3 years or 3.5 years. They are completing their PhD degree. Even some fellowships are also available. Government of India is also giving the fellowship for the foreign students, so that you can apply. You can come for the PhD program also, even for postdoc program also after PhD also for 1 years. Our IRA is also conducting this one postdoc program. For that also you can come.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, ma'am, for your nice presentation. It was very informative. I want to know if I want to develop an ensemble model using statistical and DSAT model, then is it possible to use or develop it without field experiment? I mean, can I develop it with secondary data only?
So for DSET model, field experiment is compulsory for calibration as well as for validations. But for if you have a historical data, so you can use the machine learning approach. So different machine learning models are there. You have to do the coding in this, and ensemble models also you can do. Hybrid model we are telling them, hybrid or ensemble models. So models output, whatever prediction is coming from the one models, that you can use as an input for the this combination model or this ensemble models. So 2 3 model you are already running, just like random forest, deep neural network, support vector machine you are running, CNN model, different models are there. So you are running them, and you can give the output of these models. Out of these 5 6 models, best models you can select, 3 4 models are giving best results. So that output you can give in the combination models, and that is ensemble model. And whatever output you are getting, that is your, that accuracy will definitely improve.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you.
Thank you.